It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. Fresh off a hiatus from making intros. Back to school and these niggas primrose. Copying me Kinkos. Money stretching, it's athleisure. Did it with no gym clothes. My ambition indigenous. Live within me. It's simple, boy. I've been that nigga. My mouth full of strings. I go Jimi Hendrix. I'm in a lane by myself and I'm pushing city limits. But 20 years in development without any gimmicks. Get something fried was my destiny. Watch me get this chicken miles away from heartache. Hardly away from home. Hardest rap out the city. Harpoons aimed at the throne. Fuck about my peripheral, flow is visceral, physical specimen. Y'all full of estrogen, a bitch or two, I did it first. Used to send a verse, keep whatever works. Features never dropped, I should've sent the hearse. Nobody compares, not even the man in the mirror. Used to be better till I put this rap shit to the rear. Y'all be the third string, I'm first team. Come from a city home and serve fiends with burnt dreams. Right like the Bernstein Bears, saw the man in the martyr. Play I daily depart him. Pray I remain an exemplary father. Harder to sting on my dean, raw than them jeans. Youth in my jeans, keeping out the city, gun in my bag. By any means, Malcolm. I was taught to stay ready for every outcome. These niggas poke their chest into the pound thump. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this video, we're going to be getting back into this whole Ebro in the morning cancellation from Hot 97. It's causing a lot of talk in the industry. It's actually causing a lot more waves than I originally anticipated when I first saw this story bubbling online. I know Hot 97 is a big deal. It's one of the first hip hop stations, first 100% hip hop stations that we have in music. Of course, this is the epicenter of hip hop, New York City radio, serving the tri-state. So many iconic moments that took place on this radio station. A lot of those DJs, a lot of those hosts and personalities are no longer hosts there. They're no longer associated with that station. There's been many changing of the guards that have happened up there. But honestly, I'm like, it's 2025. People ain't really looking to Hot 97 for all of their news. You know what I'm saying? Especially not people in other places. Me just being a student of the culture and a part of the game, of course, I tuned in to what they had going on. But I didn't feel like it was such a massive amount of people that would care, especially because their viewership has declined on their YouTube, which honestly, in a lot of these shows, the online component actually supersedes their terrestrial component. You know what I'm saying? So I figured they might be doing good on the radio, but not so good on the internet. They haven't upgraded their cameras. There's a lot of things that they just kind of like over the years just kind of stayed stagnant, I guess you could say. A lot of people claim that there's not enough new blood up there. I find it to be interesting that y'all saying it's not new blood. What is DJ Drewski and all them other niggas out there? Y'all don't fuck with them? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I know it's not the morning show, but I'm just saying. Anyway, but I didn't expect for so much chatter to come from Ebro, Laura Stiles, and Peter Rosenberg being let go. But now we have Drake coming out with a response. We have the DJ that don't spin coming out, and he did a whole dissertation about how Ebro basically shunned him early on in the game, and I guess he's been carrying that burden on his heart ever since. So he couldn't wait to see Ebro's downfall, because he talked for nearly an hour about the whole process of Ebro's radio tenure at Hot 97 down to being fired, and he got the last laugh, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on. Drake, on the one hand, he just put a axe emoji on it, but it just shows how much he's really tuned in. You would think somebody at his level is not. You would think somebody at his level of celebrity, his level of so-called dominance, his level of so-called happiness and contentment would be doing other things. But no, just like everyone else, he's tuned into the internet super close. And we know that the narrative around Drake has changed drastically in the last couple of years. So now, rather than, making his posts and enjoying himself and having fun with his peers, he's now looking for angles, you know what I'm saying, to solidify himself, make himself seem like, oh, I'm getting back at my ops and all of this different type of stuff, right? So when news broke of Ebro and them getting their show canceled, this is Drake in the comment section. Now, I believe this was originally posted on the account Keep Six Solid, which is a Toronto blog, if you will, a Toronto social media page that promotes artists out there. They also do a lot of news stories and controversy and all that stuff. So as you can see up top, it says Ebro and his morning show get axed. And now he's saying it's because of the right wing. Remember, we played the video, and I guess they're making fun. You see the laughing emojis up there. He said that they didn't like his rhetoric. He went head to head with Cuomo a couple weeks ago, got hung up on mid-call. He said he had anti-Netanyahu views and stuff like that, and he felt like they needed to get him out the way in order for them to further push their agenda, get that VC money, and placate to the government and their wants, right? So they're having a good time. They're laughing because, of course, Ebro has been critical of Drake. I don't think Ebro's been critical of Drake to the point of hating or completely discounting him. I think he's always got an open ear for Drake. But because he's been critical of the music and hasn't really liked any of the releases that have come in this year, Drake has an axe to grind with Ebro. And as you can see, Champagne Papi posted the axe, basically saying he got put on the chopping block. So he's reveling in the fact that Ebro is now having to pivot. I think a lot of people also don't understand, although they're no longer at Hot 97, the Ebro in the Morning show will continue. And I'm going to get to that in just a few moments. So there's that, right? But if y'all can remember just a little bit further back when Drake was very active on the Plot Twist account, remember Plot Twist was where he was leaking out songs and stuff like that and putting up posts and basically using it as a finsta. He had posted this photo of Ebro. You know what I'm saying? It's three photos of Ebro with the opacity set low or high, excuse me. And I believe people said that this was ayahuasca in the in that bowl there. You know what I'm saying? Alluding to Kendrick, the ayahuasca thing, and I think Ebro may have also said that Drake should try it or what have you. Some people felt like this was like some voodoo or some sort of root work that Drake was alluding to here. But we do see that Drake did post this about Ebro once upon a time to show y'all that he already had an issue, and now that he perceives him as being down on his luck, he came out to show face and say, yeah, I'm still on your ass. Glad to see you go. Now, I'm over here on Radio Inc., okay? Now, I don't know if this is 100% true or not. This is just an article that was posted yesterday. And not many people have covered this. But it looks like Funkmaster Flex might actually be taking over mornings on Hot 97. Who the fuck wants to hear this nigga in the morning? New York City. Funk Flex. Bombs and shit. No, nobody want to hear that shit, man. Nigga, please. But anyway, they're reporting that Funk Flex is going to take mornings. Now, how the fuck is he doing mornings and then he's going to be doing fucking evenings too? Because remember, he took DJ Enough's spot. DJ Enough just got let go a couple months ago. He took his slot. Now Ebro in the morning gets let go. And they talking about he finna take their slot too. He finna do mornings and evenings. This nigga wanna be the host all fucking day. Hot 97 finna be the Funk Flex show. They finna work his ass to the bone, Stephen A. Smith. So anyway, they say here, Funkmaster Flex is taking over mornings at New York City's Hot 97. WQHT, which is the overall uh, conglomerate that owns the company, at least for now. Following the abrupt end of Ebro in the Morning, Media Co. confirmed to Radio Inc. that the hip-hop radio icon will hold the day part down until further notice, starting on Monday, December 15th, New York City. Tomorrow morning, you may in fact hear Funk Flex's gravelly-ass voice on your airwaves as you get your kids ready for school. Flex has been with Hot 97 for more than 30 years, most recently moving his show to 5 to 10 p.m. in September from his former 7 p.m. start. He got a 5-hour slot in the evenings. The decision follows a turbulent Friday for Hot 97 and its crosstown Odyssey-owned rival 94.7 The Block, which each suddenly cut their morning shows. So both Hot 97 and their new rival, you know, they used to be rivals with Power 105 and The Breakfast Club. But now, I guess 94.7 The Block, again, I'm not a resident. I'm not a tri-state nigga. I don't know all this shit, but I do know who Odyssey is. Funny that they become a power player in actual radio, which each suddenly cut their morning shows. Following the December 12th broadcast, Ebro Darden, Laura Stiles, and Peter Rosenberg each confirmed Ebro in the Morning, a staple of the WQHT lineup since 2012, was no more. Later that day, The Block quietly removed morning host Miss Jones and evening personality Ed Lover from its website, leaving many wondering if Jones was headed home to Hot 97, where the veteran air talent got her full-time radio start. Now, ain't that interesting? So there's speculation that Miss Jones may ultimately end up back on Hot 97 and move Flex about the spot. He's just the interim morning host, I guess. Who knows? But I'm guessing that by January, we will see where things go. For now, it's still unclear what's next for The Block or where Miss Jones and Ed Lover will land. And if Ed Lover left, they could end up being the two new hosts. Miss Jones and Ed Lover may co-host the morning show. Could be. It's just in the realm of possibility. I don't know. Directing fans to follow the show's YouTube channel, Ebro syndicator Super Radio confirmed that it is still working with Darden, Stiles, and Rosenberg on another program currently in the works. Okay, so remember, Ebro in the Morning was on air for 13 years. And they were syndicated. And the syndicator, Super Radio, says that they're still working with Ebro in the Morning. So although Hot 97 will no longer be paying the bills for the show, they're keeping it going. We already explored that, but I did not know that the syndication distributor was going to go with them. So that's going to be very interesting. I'm sure they will land sponsorships and things of that nature. So everybody's celebrating and doing the rain dance on Ebro, Rosenberg, and Laura. It looks like they're not going nowhere. Okay? Now, what is this currently in the works thing? I clicked the link. It didn't really lead me to shit but Complex. And Complex, you know, they just regurgitate what else is already online. So that was pretty much useless. So following Drake making light of the situation with his acts on social media, Peter Rosenberg comes out and he says it's behavior like this that has made it impossible for people to defend the whack shit that he does. Oh, you thought these niggas was gonna disappear from online because they lost they position at Hot 97? It's just like going from one label to another, baby. We get another deal. But happy Hanukkah, my one-time pal. I truly wish you well, even if you're celebrating what you believe is our demise. Spoiler alert. We're about to be much bigger now that we won't be held back by a company that is and has been completely lost ever since they bought the station. And since everybody is alluding to acquisitions and things of that nature, they say on July 1st, 2019, Emmis Communications, which is the former owner of the station, announced that it would sell WQHT and sister station WBLS to the public company Media Co. Holding, an affiliate of Standard General, for $91.5 million and a $5 million promissory note. In addition, Emmis will take a 23.72% stake in the new company's common equity and continue to manage the stations under shared services agreements. The sale was completed November 25th, 2019. In May 2025, Media Co. Holding announced that it would launch Hot 97 TV, a free ad-supported streaming television channel featuring programming on hip-hop music and culture hosted by WQHT personalities and others. Now, I did not know about Hot 97 TV, which I find to be very interesting. Okay? So they're making moves. They're getting people out. Some people suspect that they're going to try to bring younger, more, I guess, connected to the youth, connected to what's going on in the, the Gen Z world. And if they're going to TV, yeah, I can see that being a thing, because you're going to need people that folks actually want to watch outside of, these kind of legacy hosts. So I find all of these moves to be very interesting. So for the past, we'll say 5.5 years, there's been a lot of changes and things that they've been dealing with, and they feel like their work has been held back since the sale of the company. Which brings me to the DJ that don't spin, okay? So, once again, if you're just now joining us, in the top of the video, I said that he has been holding a grudge with Ebro for the past decade, okay? Last night or whenever this was that he did this video, he basically came out and gave people a rundown of his career or, his tenure in this media role. So he talked about, how he was allegedly DJing, and I do remember him DJing at some point. So I'm not going to take that away from him completely, but he ain't spinning a motherfucking thing now. But back in college radio, he was DJing, what have you. He was trying to get into the media game. He was studying, watching The Breakfast Club. He was watching the Hot 97s of the world. He was trying to get on. And apparently, he reached out to Ebro shortly after he had conducted an interview with Charlemagne. So Charlemagne gave him the blessing of, you're a young guy trying to get in. I'll sit with you. Of course, there was the Hot 97 power beef. So they seen that the DJ that don't spin was with Charlemagne. So they said, we'll pass. Right? So he's going to get into that story and basically try to drive the stake into Ebro's back for not being willing to sit with him, pass him the torch, give him the keys to the Ferrari, that whole thing. He's feeling vindicated that, oh, what goes around comes around. Y'all shunned me early on. Now look where you are. That's his position at this point.
Charlemagne tells that story. I tell the story. Charlemagne was one of the only niggas that said, because me and him used to argue on Twitter, and it wasn't like argue like I'm dissing, but it was just like I listened to the show every day. I was a student. Listen to all this shit. Student. You got to be a student of all this if you really want to get into it. So I would kind of like try to find things that maybe like logically he wasn't whatever, or maybe he was missing the point on whatever. And I would like tweet at him and argue with him. And I ain't gonna lie, he would engage. That was back when Charlemagne would actually tweet. That was cool. I did an interview with him. Some people have seen it. A lot of people have seen it. Way back. It's like in 2013.
Architect of Aggravation, Charlotte.
Ironically, 2013, you hear Charlemagne said hip hop is in a golden era. This is no diss to you, Charlemagne. This is raccoon, Charlemagne. No bleached skin, no not bleach, but like no pigmentation fakes. This is raw Charlemagne. I know this is a slow story. Just buckle up. So I did this interview, and, you know, I was very proud about it. I was pretty much a novice. I was giving Charlamagne credit. I didn't even know how to outro the thing. Charlamagne told me how to outro. I can't even lie. I think he said it before too. Cool. I reached out to Hot 97 and I wanted to talk to them. I reached out and I hit up. I wanted to talk to Ebro. At the time, there was a music producer or a music director. Her name was Carly Hustle. When I reached out, in chat, there's going to be a lesson in all of this. When I reached out, I was greeted.
Shout out to Carly Hustle, by the way. Hope everything is well with you. I know you had went through a transition in health and different things of that nature. So hope Carly Hustle is good.
They looked at me as the ops. Obviously, I looked up to Charlamagne. I was a huge fan of his. But because my interview with him was out, they told me, ain't you Charlamagne's boy? Why the fuck would we be doing something with you? Subsequently, nothing ever happened. We never did the interview. I hope you're starting to hear and realize the lesson. WQHT Hot 97, which was owned at that time by a company called MS Communications. The radio DJs who were all employees of Hot 97 were in a O Block 63rd beef with the people who worked at Power 105. They were in full beef. I live in Jersey. Anybody in New York knows. You couldn't, at a point, you couldn't have, if you went to a big party, you couldn't have a Power 105 DJ and a Hot 97 DJ on the same lineup. It was straight up beef. Now, think about this, and this is why it's very important to recall some of these things. These motherfuckers were beefing, gangbanging, pretty much, for a company they didn't own. But you know what? They felt like they did. They felt like they did. Why? They walked around like big shots. When they had that logo next to their name, Hot 97 or Power 105, they walked around like their shit didn't stink. He was acting like he owned WQHT, which is called Hot 97, which I told you is owned by the federal government. But he was moving like he owned it. Just like now, he moves like he owns Apple. Didn't I tell you you're going to see the same things come up? They put you, by the way, and I could get into that a little bit further, because his personal feelings affects people and their playlisting. I have several examples, but we're not there yet. This dude was acting like he was the gatekeeper. All right, well, I get to decide what's hip-hop and what's not hip-hop. Is it good enough or not good enough? And Ebro, while sitting up on his high horse, he said, well, let me tell you the truth. We got the minor leagues and we got the major leagues. And if you want to get played on this station, you got to be in the major leagues. You know, they're on a high horse. They said, oh, I interviewed Charlamagne, fuck out of here. I start to pop off online around 2014, I believe. 2013, 2014, I'm popping off a bit. And especially when it came to time when I was covering the Meek stuff, that's going to 2015, Meek and Drake beef, I get an email from Ebro. Wednesday, December 17th, 2014. Now, I want to make sure as I'm telling the story, I let people know I am not upset because he just said fuck off, or his people said fuck off at the time. That's not the point of what I'm trying to say to y'all. The point of what I'm trying to say to y'all is that in entertainment, it's always important to have some vision of what is to come. What I'm actually accusing Ebro of is being someone that lacks vision. And in multiple, as you will hear as the story goes on, I'm going to speed it up a little bit, but every time he saw the next, he rejected it until he had to conform.
All right. So that's him. And please be advised, I had to do some chopping to get this nigga's yapping down to the 6 minutes that I showed y'all. He, like I said, he was on that motherfucker for nearly an hour on this subject alone. Okay? So he wanted to get down, and I can understand the grudge that he kind of has. I would think at some point, especially after reaching a certain level in life, that you wouldn't be holding on to these types of things, but you never know. He was young, he was in college, whatever. I kind of get it. He wanted to get in. Charlemagne embraced him. He didn't necessarily, I would think he wasn't necessarily thinking about the beef that they were enthralled in, because he just wanted to get in and get up under these guys and learn and, get some information, do some interviews, build his platform, what have you. But they said, fuck out of here, And again, as somebody coming into an industry, and these are the so-called giants, you want to create a connection, they're apprehensive or very defensive and may do something to offend you, it may stick with you forever. There's a lot of people in different industries that have that story, and it motivated them and became their fire to do what it is that they do. I can understand that from a human standpoint, but this is a guy here who brags about how much money he makes. I think at one point during this thing, he bragged about how he started making $100K a month. Whenever he gets into it with rappers who don't like his take or whatever, he comes out and, niggas always say, you using my name to monetize. He gonna be like, I don't need no fucking money from you. I'm making more money than y'all. He always throws that around. But deep down inside, he's still that same rejected dude. You know what I'm saying? That same guy that was reaching out in 2013 or 2012 or whatever year it was, that wanted to get a drop, wanted to get an interview, and people weren't believing in his vision. They weren't seeing it. You know what I'm saying? So when he started getting in position, he got that Complex look. That's the worst thing that could have happened, was Complex coming in and validating him in actual media. He like, oh, we finna hit the ground running. And he was on a quest to seek out revenge in any way that he could from the motherfuckers who overlooked him. And now he gets to look at Ebro and all of them like, yeah, I'm still here, and you just lost your job. Ha, ha, ha. Which to me, I find a little bit strange, because y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember people like rain dancing on him when Everyday Struggle ended. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. It may not be at the top of my recollection right now. But that show went through many different iterations. That was about his equivalent of a Hot 97 job, was being on Complex doing Everyday Struggle. It ends. You go back to running a show yourself. Right? But he felt like Ebro looked down on him because he was a YouTuber versus being, a I guess so-called hired professional at one of these networks, these prestigious corporations in the industry or whatever. So now he's like, oh, now look at you coming to YouTube trying to get down with the squaw. Just childhood immaturity shit. And I don't know how many people caught it in that whole speech from the DJ That Don't Spin, but he also alleges that Ebro still carries himself in that manner today at Apple. He alleges that there's some artists who aren't being playlisted at Apple based on Ebro's personal interests. If he don't like you, you get less preferential treatment. You may get shunned. You may get overlooked. That's what he's alleging. He didn't come with any facts or any details as to who may have been affected in that way, but he did certainly allude to it. So he claims that Ebro is still conducting himself like he runs the joint, even though he's just a high-ranking employee. Okay? That's his play on it. Now, as I stated yesterday in my original video, I don't think anybody in this media space, if you want to call everybody in this media, whether you want to talk about new media, legacy media, however you want to slice it, everybody is at the mercy of something, right? We're all at the mercy of a possible communications act that can change shit drastically. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's on the precipice. I'm just saying it's a possibility that there's things that can happen that can regulate certain shit, and shit can go wayward. You know what I'm saying? All of us that are broadcasting on YouTube, we're at the mercy of YouTube and Google's, agreements. They come on this motherfucker, they make changes. We have no say in none of the changes. They start changing the layouts in this motherfucker. They don't even show how many subscribers niggas got when you click on the motherfucking videos no more. You know what I'm saying? We didn't vote on that. We didn't ask for that shit. The pay rate it fluctuates on what you make per video, depending on the size of your audience, depending on the size of the types of ads that get served on your content. You make a different rate than the next motherfucker. It's not an equal pay situation up this bitch. We're all at the mercy of that. Don't know how it's going to go up or down from day to day. So you can never be too high on your horse to laugh at a motherfucker who transitions from one to the next, because everybody is at the mercy of changes being made. Just like if you on Twitch, Kick, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? It's all the same shit. You're at the mercy of what these people at the top of these companies are willing to pay, what they're willing to broadcast. And they could say, oh, we're all inclusive today, but then they could make a change. They could get a whole new investment group that comes in, and then changes start getting made, and all inclusive start looking like that motherfucking resort that they ain't got the restaurants you used to like no more. You know what I mean? So again, I think everybody that's like laughing or joking or finding solace in that, y'all might need to chill. Number one, Ebro ain't going nowhere. He's still on Apple. He's still going to be doing the morning show. Still going to have this, the syndication distributor behind him. Only thing that's going to change is the logo and maybe the pay rate that they make. They're going to have to figure that out. But that's it. As for Drake, I don't know if he should be out here laughing and kikiing about nobody being in a transitional phase of their career or their employment, because nigga, ain't you in the same position? Didn't you sue the company because they didn't give you a favorable offer for your contract negotiation? You might want to pipe down, boy. And given that motherfucking verse you just gave 21 Savage on that bullshit ass song you just did, I'm sure that ain't gonna make them want to invest even more into your shit. What the hell was that? Mr. Recoup? But hey, let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all be good out there. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy calls, consoling for the stacks I built.